Hey guys, this is Tonya from My Mobile Notary Tonya, and I kind of want to get on here to talk to you about witnesses. Um, why certain documents require them, and how can you tell or how can you identify a witness for your document. So, I have had some clients who have asked questions about their documents and saying, "Oh, I don't think I need a witness on this document. You know, oh, it's okay." And I've kind of said, "Did anybody tell you that you don't need witnesses?" Because the document clearly says on here that it requires witnesses. And I've had them push back and to say, "Oh no, we don't need witnesses." And a lot of times the signers are doing this because they don't want some people, whether it's neighbors, friends, sometimes even family members, getting too involved in some of their change of life decisions, so to speak. And they've done that only to find out that, hey, the law says you got to have two neutral parties involved in this. And their document, because they didn't do the simplest thing, which is just get two people to sign their name, involved. So here's what's happening. Some big documents, such as real estate documents like your deeds, your purchase and sale documents, reverse mortgages, loan modifications, those kinds of things, as well as estate planning documents such as your last will and testament, trust documents, living will, require two witnesses. And again, they have to be neutral people, disinterested parties. They cannot have any say whatsoever in this document. They cannot receive any kind of benefit to it. They cannot make any decisions on your behalf listed in the document. They want to make sure that two additional people are witnessing you signing this document. Not only witnessing you sign it, but can say, "Yeah, I saw this person sign this document, and they were in their own right frame of mind. They were making their choices. They were in their right mind." Nobody coerced them. Nobody told them to do this, because these documents are the ones that normally are listed or used for fraud. People will, make quitclaim deeds to go ahead and sell somebody's property very quickly so they can make money off of it. Somebody will have, unfortunately I have to say it, a family member will go in and have another family member, normally somebody older, to go ahead and sign a power of attorney so that this other family member can go ahead and get into the bank account and remove funds and make financial decisions which are not the best for them, or they may make this person a healthcare surrogate, and they'll make medical decisions for them, and they'll make the medical decisions that this person may not want to have, and sometimes they'll even kind of coerce or force this person, who may be considered a vulnerable adult, and that's a whole nother story, into putting them on as a healthcare surrogate or a power or attorney effect, when the signer may not even want that person on there to make decisions for them. So the witnesses are there to see, hey, was this person forced into doing this? Was there some sort of mental challenge or disability here that should have, let the signing kind of stop? So that's what the witnesses are there for. Because if the document is ever called into question in the court, then those witnesses will be called upon to testify and say, "Yeah, we witnessed this, and this is what I saw." Now, here is the thing. At least in Florida, I can say this. In addition to the witnesses signing these documents that I listed earlier, the witnesses not only have to sign their name, but they also now, and this is in the legislature, they also have to put on their current address, where they're currently residing. And the reason why this is being done is because, like I said, if these documents are ever called into question to find out if, the person did do this of their own free will or were they forced into it, they need to find out these witnesses, because there might be a slew of Sarah Jane Smiths and John Wick Thomases out there, okay? The court has no knowledge to find out if this is this the John Wick Thomas located in Coral Springs? Is this the Sarah Jane Smith located in Opelika, Florida? They don't know. You could have moved and changed addresses and moved all the way to Timbuktu. They have no knowledge. So the way to pinpoint that is they have you put your address as the witness on these documents now. And this is a requirement. All witnesses now for these specific documents, which are big ticket documents, have to put their addresses in addition to their name on there so that the court can say, okay, well, their last known address was here. Where else can we find them? Did they move? Where are they now? So that's why they're doing it. And again, like I said, this witness requirement is a requirement, meaning your document, I don't care how well it's notarized, I don't care how complete it is, will not move unless these witnesses sign their name and address. And sometimes now I've seen a couple of documents where they are now requiring the witnesses to put in their email address and phone number. That's how serious this is, okay? Now that's one thing. The second thing I also want to talk about with the witnesses is that you can't just get anybody to be a witness. I mean, technically, yes, you can, but for the documents, you really do want somebody who's at least of sound mind. So you don't want to have somebody with any mental challenges to do it. You want somebody who is at least also, and I do believe this is in Florida in statutes as well, at least 18. Now, some states will allow somebody maybe 16 or 17 to do it, but that depends on your state that you're in. But here in Florida, they do require the person to be have no mental challenges, and to go ahead and be at least 18 to sign as a witness. In addition to that, they also require the witnesses to not be named in the document, to have any interest whatsoever, whether they're benefiting from it, like they're going to receive money like inheritance, and they cannot be making financial or medical choices for the person. That's what I mean. So you can probably have like a neighbor, who is not named in the document, or some maybe even extended family members listed in there. But some of the documents, and it depends on the document, some of the legislature has said even if your sister or your son is not named in the document and they're not going to be your personal representative or healthcare surrogate or attorney in fact, even if they're not any of those things, because it's this type of document, we do not want, or you cannot have for this specific document, that person who is an immediate family member signing as a witness, because they still will see it as, too close for comfort. And, they want, the government does want a arm's length transaction, meaning that, hey, this person has nothing to do with them. They're not related to them. They barely know them. They're a family friend or something, but they really don't know them. And they have nothing to benefit off of from this. So that's why. And this is where a lot of signers make a mistake, and they will get somebody who, unfortunately, kind of doesn't meet those requirements and defeats the whole purpose of the signing, and the document gets rejected, unfortunately. And then they have to go and do the whole thing all over again. So if you find yourself in this position, sorry about my glasses, if you find yourself in this position and you say, I need a witness, I don't have any family members that I can use, or I can't use my family members, and I don't have any neighbors that I really want to use on this specific document. Because these documents do require notarization, ask the notary that is helping you to complete your notarization of the documents. They, a lot of times, 9.9 times out of 10, can supply witnesses. A lot of times those witnesses are other notaries that they work with. And for a lot of us notaries, we have been background screened and checked to make sure that, everything's on the up and up with us. And a lot of notaries, we do have to make sure that, we are following different, requirements as far as the law is concerned as well. So you might want to ask the notary, hey, can you provide witnesses? And the notary will tell you yes. Now, again, full transparency, a lot of times if the notary is supplying the witnesses, you will have to pay a small fee to have somebody come out for 30 to maybe 45 minutes to watch you complete and sign this document. But for peace of mind, to have your document complete and you don't have to redo this all over again, I think it's worth it. So I just want to share this with you and have you think about this the next time that you are considering having your documents, completed and you need a witness. So it's better to go ahead and get it done right the first time than having it done 3 to 5 times and only find out that, hey, if I would have just called this notary or this person here, I could have got this done properly. Okay? Well, until I see you in the next video, take care. Bye.